Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to tell today's video, I finally made a 6'8" MyCareer build in NBA 2K23. It has been a long time coming. Now, as a lot of you guys may or may not know, I've made I'm talking 6 or 7 different 6'9" builds in this year's game. And it's actually kind of crazy how different it was to grind a 6'8" as far as the badge tiering stuff goes. So in today's video, I just wanted to clarify to you guys, it's not going to be any gameplay or anything like that. I just wanted to showcase the build itself and show maybe just the MyCareer builder process and the idea I had behind making it. And shout out to Joe Knows for this build right here, because it's not exactly the same thing by any means. I only have 93 dunk to his 99. I have maybe a little bit different on standing dunk, or for instance maybe the pass accuracy a tad bit different. The defense is definitely the big difference here too, but I will say Joe is definitely the first one to really get to that 6'8" stuff, and it's kind of another reason I didn't want to make one. I don't really want to steal his flow or just really the same style he's been on with the Kobe signature size up and stuff like that, the 89 ball handle, the Hall of Fame quick first step. But it's quite obvious that this is a pretty heavy slasher build height in this year's game. I will say though, the finishing badge tiering, the fact that this poster, takeoff, and slithery are all tier 3 made this an absolute pain to grind. I did it all in MyCareer this time too. I'll show you guys all my methods and stuff like that too toward the end of the video. But honestly, this grind was so different than anything I've done so far. The fact that I had to grind poster with no takeoff was actually kind of tough. I ended up getting it toward the end because, as you can see, I have 24 finishing badge count on this. So obviously I'm eventually, when I max out my finishing badges with no core, able to run at least 2 of them together. So I was eventually finally able to run takeoff and poster together, but it was a grind. Same with defense, man. It is so hard to grind defense on this build. I ended up coring clamps after I got all 17 defensive badges, or really 16, because what makes this build so hard to grind on defense is the fact that it has no rebounding, no shot blocking, anything like that. So obviously that was its own problem. But here I am, 96 overall. I have all my core badges done, all the badges maxed, and it's ready for Pro-Am if you ask me. I mean, yes, it's missing mid-range. It's something that I'm missing in my own game personally though, but 70 can hit as well. But to just overview everything, like I said, 85 3-pointer, silver limitless range, 93 dunk. I've come to the conclusion, not entirely, but I don't think 99 dunk is worth it in my own personal opinion. It is nice though. I actually did enjoy that 99 dunk build at my 6'9". It's possible I still use it as well from time to time. But I will say with this build comes a lot of small upgrades in a lot of key areas. So the difference between the 6'8" and the 6'9" is a couple of things, including this. So we have the 87 ball handle up to 89. That gives you the Hoff quick first step. It's very, very crucial. I think that's a big deal. Not to mention, if I ever try killer combos, it goes up to gold max instead of silver. The speed with ball also going up from 75 to 80. This has been a really interesting thing to try out a little bit. I think it actually could go a long way. Also, the speed up to 85 instead of 81. I've noticed off-ball movement with my player, whether it improves my defense or my pick and rolling ability, and also the badge tiering that we just talked about as well. So those are the big differences in my opinion. The things like badge tiering generally are a bad thing as far as a 6'8" goes instead of a 6'9". So for instance, the fact that Challenger and Clamps are tier 3 instead of tier 2, that becomes really tough because obviously I had to achieve a defensive badge rating of 17 defensive badges to be able to run both of these. So that was what I had to perform and pull off, whereas on the other builds, I could just be able to run Interceptor, Clamps, and Challenger because they're all tier 2s or tier 1s and not have to get to this exact defensive badge count that I have right here. So that's my explanation as far as that goes. Same with playmaking, not too different. It's all kind of the same stuff if you compare it to a 6'9". Handles, clamp breaker, and unpluckable are all going to be tier 3, so that's kind of a given. Hoff quick first step is really only one more badge point investment because of it being gold instead, obviously. On my 6'9" build, I was able to afford running a double playmaking core and not run a shooting just because I was okay with not running limitless range. All I had was blinders and then agent and then green machine as well, and then a couple tier 1s on top of that. But I didn't run limitless because that's the other thing. We'll go to the builder real quick to showcase some of the differences as to why I would make a 6'8" versus 6'9", but I just wanted to kind of show you what the build's going to look like and show you what I'm looking forward to as far as using it. But again, I'm able to not have to run a double playmaking core because I can afford to run all these badges anyway. But it's more so that I kind of need to run the one of everything core with the finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense because I need the limitless range. I need the posterizer and stuff like that because obviously I have to have a core badge pattern on my finishing to be able to get all 3 of these. Same with shooting. I'd like to run blinders and limitless. So that's kind of our necessities as far as that stuff goes. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is pretty viable. I like the close shot rating. I like the standing dunk, the rise up in tier 1 and the fast twitch in tier 2. That's another thing that I actually think is kind of worth mentioning is the fact that I had fast twitch in the tier 3 anyway on my other build, and I actually was still running it too, and I couldn't run Rise Up either. While this is only bronze, it is nice that it's a tier 1. And then as I mentioned, Fast Twitch was a tier 3 on my other build. I did run it gold, but it was another tier 3 I was running anyway, so if you just kind of supplement the fact that like Takeoff is tier 2 for the other build anyway, it's not a big deal. This is kind of like swapping 2 different badges, and all it did was move Slithery up from tier 1 to tier 3. So it's not as much of an unbearable thing to make a 6-8 as I thought it would be, and I'm actually loving the way that it moves as well. As far as the animations and stuff go, it's really nice. I keep about everything the same as what I had originally. It's just I have the Kobe signature size up now, and this is fire. I mean, it's so good at like just getting clean movement. The jump shot I'm running, I'm not even able to actually run on my other build because I only have 83 3-pointer. So when you compare it as far as like the jump shots I'm able to run, or for instance, obviously the silver limitless range, etc., with the 85 3-pointer, it's things that you can achieve at a 6'8", but you can't achieve at a 6'9", and especially the way that I built that 6'9", that's more so what I'm here to talk about as well, is the 99 dunk version of the 6'9" that I made. I couldn't even afford to get 85 3-pointer with it. And actually, for reference, we're just going to come over to the builder and show you what I'm talking about. So the 6'9" build that I made was this right here exactly. 6'9", 7'6" wingspan. It has 83 3-pointer as the max, and as you can see, it's nearly max wingspan. It's literally just one tick down from max, but I still wanted 83 3-pointer, obviously for the Silver Agent 3. It's a very, very big threshold to hit as far as shooting goes. You do not want to have 82 3-pointer if you're making a more so ISO oriented build. The big perk, and what I will say as far as like the reason some people make max wingspan 6'9" is obviously that 90 steal rating. It's more of a lock threshold to hit. It's crazy because this one tick of wingspan right here defines your build more than anything I've ever seen. Like 7'6" wingspan can make you a little bit more of a ball handler and a 3-point shooter and a 5-out player, whereas going 7'7" wingspan almost entirely locks you into being more of a lockdown style player, because you're going to end up without that Silver Agent 3, and it goes a long way for that to be a thing. But one of the big convenience factors of being 6'8" is the fact that you can get 99 dunk while still having a much higher 3-point rating. So as you can see, if you wanted to go with something that actually had like as high of a 3-point rating as possible while still having a 99 dunk, the 6'8" allows you to get 87 3-pointer while still having 99 dunk. That's actually really, really big. What I ended up doing though is going 7'5" wingspan and ended up just going 85 3-pointer for the Silver Limitless. I actually would consider potentially, it was in my thoughts to maybe make a 7'3" wingspan and just get the 3-point rating higher just for the sake of shooting better. But overall, what makes these 6'9" so much easier to grind is the fact that the badge tiering is so ridiculously easy. I mean, we just talked about that as well, but Challenger in tier 2, Clamps in tier 2, and Interceptor in tier 2, it literally just makes it so I can run all 3 of these badges and maybe just core 1 pretty simply, but I can run the points on it instantly to go for the cores. That's one unsung thing about these 6'8" and below that are so absolutely hard to grind, and it really cannot be understated, bro. It's crazy. Like, so for this one right here, obviously I could just slap 4 badge points on Clamps instantly, boom, get a core straight like that. Or same with Interceptor if I wanted to load into the wreck or something like that. You can core Interceptor mad quick, and boom, there's your defensive core. It's about as simple as that. You don't need to work toward getting all of your defensive badge points, 17 for my build that is, and then going all in on getting like the core badge points after I had just grinded all the way up to 17. With this, I can start working toward the core progress instantly, and this is where, like I said, it's just the unsung thing about the 6'9s that becomes so easy to grind. And then likewise with finishing, in my opinion, yes, some people might believe that the only core badgeable like finishing badge is Posterizer because they think Takeoff and Slithery are super hard. For me, with the dunk meter activation and the usage rate that I have with the dunk meter, Takeoff is actually a very easy thing to core quickly. I will say though, generally with the finishing it's a different story because I have to get all 3 of these badges eventually. So I eventually start trying to work toward the poster core because it's the most expensive one that I have. But it is still much easier to go for that poster core when I'm able to get Slithery and Limitless Takeoff off rip in the very beginning stages of the build. So to wrap things up on this video, let's explain why I made the 6'8" build. So when you compare it to the 6'9", as you can see, the 87 ball handle versus 89 on the, on the surface level, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that big a difference. It's only 2 ball handle rating, but it is the difference between Gold and Hall of Fame Quick First Step. The difference between that level of the badge is really significant if you look at the 2K Labs test and just feel it for yourself as well. And the Kobe signature size up is the best one in the game if you ask me, besides maybe Steve Francis for smaller guards, but that's obviously something that's restricted to like 6'4s and 6'5s and belows and stuff like that. But the other reason too, I honestly think the 99 dunk, maybe not worth it. It's definitely a tough thing to really like judge and gauge, but honestly, all I've used this year is 93 dunk. I was really hesitant to even make a 99 dunk, but I had to see it for myself. I had to just at least test it this year and see how I felt about it. And I think for me, with how often I use the dunk meter, it's not exactly necessary. Now for others who maybe hold their X button a whole lot more or go for the up on the right sticks and don't exactly try and go for the dunk meter activation, I do understand what 99 dunk provides you. Not to mention the higher level of takeoff and just in general your finishing ratings being higher is gonna raise your rate of drawing fouls, whether it's your actual draw foul rating itself or just the activation rate of getting dunks that maybe get you into fouls off the half takeoff. So that is another perk of making a 99 dunk build, is truly the fact that you can get bailed out on a lot of like takes to the hoop, and it is a tough thing to guard. However, what really was starting to kill me with this is the fact that I obviously only had like the 17 shooting badge points, not to mention it's only bronze limitless range, which is more the focal point of what we're talking about because obviously it's not that far off on my shooting badge count on the other build. But bronze limitless doesn't feel worth, and it's so tough to invest 5 badge points into a bronze badge. That feels so like detrimental to a build, and getting 85 3-pointer and getting that silver limitless range feels so much more hittable and so much more reliable. I don't know what the 2K Labs test is on it, but it feels like a very much more reliable rate. And also, I don't think the pass ac is worth either. I think 85 pass ac is quite overrated after testing a lot of different levels of pass accuracy from 78 to 85 to 92. I think 78 and 80-ish is more so the sweet spot. And I know so many people will leave in the comments, oh, well, 75 is the sweet spot, 76 is, no, 78 is, 80, 82, this, that, and the other. Honestly, bro, I just think it's a flat rate that gets a little bit better as you keep on going. But the difference between 78 and 85 for how much it costs toward your build is not worth to invest that much further into. So I went with 79 on my new build just to not pass accuracy tie AK, because AK is going to have 78 and he'll be lined up a lower spot in the positions than me in Pro-Am, and obviously that's pretty important for me to not have the pass accuracy ties because we have that current problem with Apollo and me when I had my 85 pass accuracy build, this one right here. To explain that real quick, if you go into Pro-Am with a teammate that's also at the same position as you, in this case a point guard, and you both have the same pass accuracy rating, it's going to be completely random. It'll be a 50-50 chance as to who is going to be the point guard and who's going to be the shooting guard. Any game you go into, and with the repetition of how much you want to know icons are going to stay the same and where people spawn in on inbound plays and stuff like that, it's extremely important, and this was trolling us quite a bit lately. So like I said, that's my big reasoning for making a 6'8 instead of a 6'9, and also the real reason is exploration and just trying new things and testing me as a YouTuber, and to kind of like put stuff onto you guys as a viewers and let you know how I feel from my own personal perspective. And I think truly I can justify that as far as making new builds. I know at the end of the day I'm getting money to 2K. I know some of you guys don't really vouch for that. It is what it is. I do appreciate the fact that you guys watch these videos, and it does in turn compensate me making the build. So it's kind of a hand-in-hand thing. I get to show you guys how I feel about the build and how I feel about certain ratings, aka the 92 pass ac build I made, aka 89 3-pointer versus 83 versus 85, and where the sweet spot is for that, how I feel about 99 dunk, what I feel about the close shot. This was fire to have this high too, I must mention. 85 close shot was really cool for the hooking and stuff like that. I was actually able to really utilize this with a good close shot rating. I got the Hall of Fame Pro Touch and stuff like that too, with pretty reliable close shot rating. But again, I felt very comfortable in making a build like this. I thought it looked really fun. I wanted to try this, and I wanted to at least prove whether I liked a 6'8 or not. And I think the truth is, yes, I do quite a bit. Now, like I said, I haven't played very much PvP gameplay with this. I will bring that to you guys as soon as I get it. One of the other perks that I had with this build was the fact that the interior D is a little bit higher. I had to do so to afford the badge counts, whereas on the other build I didn't have to. So that's an unsung part of the build that is like almost 20 higher than my other one. Same with the defensive rebound being a little bit higher as well. And then even the speed, like 2 higher. We have the acceleration 1 higher, the speed with ball 5 more. We got like 2 more ball handle, 2 more 3-pointer, and then a little bit more standing dunk. I know a lot of these revisions seem very minimal to you guys, but the 6'8s in general, just as far as how they move in this game, feel so much better. And at the end of the day, sometimes you have to put rating this, rating that, badge tiering this, badge tiering that to the side and understand how a build is going to play and where its actual like use is going to come from. And to me, that is the fact that the Hoff quick first step is a big difference. It's the fact that the Kobe size up is a lot better. It's the fact that I'm a little bit faster for pick and rolls. It's the fact that I can still even be faster for defense too. And that goes a long way. And if it can still work out in the exact same way where I get all the same badges regardless, who cares? It all works. So that is off video. I hope you all enjoyed. I know this isn't a super informational video. It's not like a super insightful one either, but I appreciate you guys watching the vids and stuff like that too. And at the end of the day, I still do enjoy kind of just bouncing ideas off you guys in the videos as well, and to show you just in general the build itself. So I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub, and new, turn on noties. all good stuff. Like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put 6, 8, or 8 in the comments. Just supports me all the way through. Also, one last thing before I go. We're into April now, and I'm still daily uploading. I actually did not expect this is going to be the case. I would like to argue I haven't done hardly any filler videos at all this year. You could count this one as maybe one. Obviously, I didn't post gameplay with it, but at the end of the day, I just want to show you guys new builds that I create as well. But it's crazy. I haven't done quite as many filler videos as I normally do. Normally, I kind of throw a bunch of recycled content and stuff out there, and I kind of just do what I got to do to keep the daily streak going. This time, it feels very like natural and, you know, very like non-forced. However, we may be getting to a point where maybe I start to slow down a tad bit. This is almost like 7 months into the game now, and we've been going hard, man. This is my like 230th upload of the year so far. Like it's been a grind, man, for sure, and I've left no stone unturned. We have been going absolutely hard with this stuff all year, but I'm still gonna be on the comp pro am stuff consistently. I'm glad to now have a 5-out team kind of structured, and we got AK and me as our little duo. We got IQ on board with it as well. Can't wait for Tonic to get back. We're gonna have some lineup versatility as well between Apollo and Joey filling in as our 5th, whoever the case may be, or maybe they both play and we're missing Tonic like we just did for a little bit of our gameplays as well. But I'm having fun with the game, man, and this is what really keeps me going too, is creating new builds. And also, this wouldn't be a LakerFan video if I didn't just ramble after telling you guys that this is the end of the video, and then here I go for another 2 or 3 minutes. So let me show you something as far as what was convenient for me grinding this build. As you can see, I have like 50 games played in this MyCareer stuff. However, I have been simming a couple of them as well. You're gonna see a couple of these were like sim outs. Like I didn't actually like put up any of these stats in this game right here. You can see it's so scattered. It's not organized. I wasn't like dunking just particularly. I wasn't just shooting. I wasn't just assisting. I normally do focus in on stuff like that. So I have gotten to the point in my career, it was probably like about, like I would say about right here or so, where I was able to finally like take advantage of this stuff, where I can actually now sim games, and it makes it so much easier because, in case you don't know, there's games like the Clippers or the Celtics where these are going to be games that I get 1.5 times multiplier toward my points and the badge points and stuff like that too. So these are key points of games that are so much more worth it. Like I'm able to get out of this game right here, and the fact that I threw 40 assists on like straight lobs to AD and LeBron, and then like 20 points, 9 rebounds, stuff like that, able to get like 110k my points off doing stuff like this. And then same with like the Celtics game, just needed this to finish out my badge tiering and the coring and stuff like that. So long story short, that is how I would really suggest to go about MyCareer. If you like early on in your career with like these games, if you go with the Lakers, boom, you get like 2 games 1.5 time multiplier out the gate. You get like a 1.25, 1.25, 1.25, and 1.25 straight off that with like the Blazers, Nuggets, T-Wolves, and then the Nuggets again. And then same with even the Pelicans. So all I'm pretty much saying, what I would recommend and what I did for this whole MyCareer is just go 5-minute quarters for games like the Jazz or something like that. But the Clippers and like the Cavs and stuff like that, absolutely put them on like the max length and stuff. Same with like, as you can see, the Spurs game are going to be like ones that I played on way lower quarter length, and I'm just going to sim out at half and, you know, get out of this as soon as possible. And that's the whole point, because you get a 0 multiplier on games like the Spurs garbage right here. But like games like the Suns, absolutely like key to play. Same with the Bucks, the Cavs again, the Sixers again. Like I was going super hard in this MyCareer stuff, bro. It's actually insane. But anyway, I'm sure you guys get the gist, and I've been going super long in this video for no reason at the end. I just wanted to explain, like I do grind every single one of my builds myself. I don't sign up with like, you know, any like badge grinding services or anything like that. I don't pay anybody to do this stuff. I don't trust people to be on my account like that in the first place, and definitely don't want to give out like, you know, stuff like that in the first place. So I just do it myself. I've loaded up just straight YouTube videos. Shout out Johnny Harris. I've been watching that man's YouTube videos like nonstop, like for hours and hours and hours, just learning about history and geography and stuff like that. So I've been just doing it in the background while playing a ton of MyCareer. So here we are, 96 overall, pure badges, and I'm ready to go. So I'm looking forward to giving you guys a little bit more gameplay on the 6/8s, and I think this is going to be my build, like for I mean, that's how I always say, right, for the foreseeable future. But who knows? Maybe I'll go back to the 6'9" with 99 dunk. Maybe I'll go back to playing on 92 pass act a little bit. At the end of the day, I make these builds so I can at least load them up again if I want to, and we'll be able to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you made it to the real end of the video, put end in the comments. Search Perts all the way through. But anyway, that's all, and appreciate you guys watching. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.